Halloween actually on the 31st? Like, is Halloween actually today? Because if it is, then that's the reason I'm wearing the dark lip. If it's not today, then I'm just wearing a dark lip because I want to wear a dark lip and I've got no excuse. And also, I'm not actually sure the dark lip goes with all these colours. I should have gone with like a bright purple if I wanted to go colour, shouldn't I? I tried to colour... What are you talking about? Let's get into the actual video. Hello honeys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're just joining me now then, hello, my name's Imogen. Welcome to my sort of story time setup. This is where we sit for like story time, catch up, chat time. Chat time. Chat time. Yeah, that's really cute. Isn't that the name of one of those bubble tea things? Chat time. Anyway, hi, if you're new here then please subscribe. I'd be so grateful. Click the little button. I think there's a little butterfly here or a little butterfly here. If you haven't already seen it yet, then I have a butterfly brain. I sort of go off on tangents everywhere, but I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, don't know why I'm doing that. I upload every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. I do story times, I do makeup, I do hauls, I do random vlogs, I do random videos. I think I'm quite funny here and there, I don't know. I'm setting myself up for a failure now, aren't I? Because this story time isn't funny. This video, if you want funny and humour, baby huns, I'm sorry, I can't give it to you today because we're talking about something which is quite personal. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about heartbreak. Heartbreak, 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 heartbreak. No one's breaking no hearts around here. Huns, I will not leave you. I will stay with you forever. Hugo's just come in. This is my little brother, everyone. He's come in because he wants to show you his Halloween costume. Sit there on you, sister. Say hello to everyone. Say hello, honeys.
Halloween!
Halloween, sonnies, Halloween! You look so cute. Now, can I start talking about heartbreak?
Yeah, trick-or-treating.
Oh look, get away! Made a video previously about my ex-boyfriend's heartbreak and all that kind of good stuff, all that jazzy stuff, and I wanted to do this as like a series on my channel. Heartbreak, talking about things that I feel like a lot of people don't want to talk about, but we all go through it. I'm a really open person and I feel so grateful to be able to chat to you about things like this because you know what, sometimes we feel so alone when we're going through something. We think that we're the only person that's gone through it or we're the only person that's going through it and you feel like no one understands you, but I kind of want this as an opportunity to be able to say to you that you aren't alone and we are in this together and we can all get through everything that we go through together. If you speak about something or if you feel like someone's speaking to you, then sometimes it helps you. I want my channel to be a really happy place for people, but also an open place. I want you to understand that this is a book that you can read. Like, I am so open. I want you to know exactly who I am. I feel so grateful to be able to have this platform, to be able to speak to all of you about stuff and share things that we've all gone through, because I feel like even if you haven't gone through it, it's sometimes interesting to hear people's stories. I mean, I know I like hearing story time. So anyway, let's get on with it. So we're going to talk about heartbreak. Before we begin, do you love this two-piece? Yeah, it might be Halloween, but I'm keeping it summery. I get a lot of messages in my Instagram and my Snapchat about people that are going through different things at the moment, whether it's hard relationships, whether it's breakdowns of friendships, and I just feel like heartbreak is everywhere and it's something that we should talk about because you can feel so alone. I'm not going to go into my whole past relationships, but if you do want to see that, then please give this a massive thumbs up because then I know you like things like this, and I'll definitely do like a segment on my channel about this, like heartbreak, or we can talk about other things, but just let me know. So make sure you give this a thumbs up. I'm going to give a kind of brief overview of my relationships when they broke down and how it made me feel. I'm going to talk about my experience of heartbreak. I'm also going to talk about how I handled heartbreak and how I wish I'd handled heartbreak, and any advice I could give to my younger self or any advice I can give to any of you. Like, don't get me wrong, I am not the oracle. I'm not sitting here going, I know everything about heartbreak, because I don't. I definitely don't. I have no clue how I would handle it again. You don't know. But the way I feel like I've handled it now and looking back at the past, I feel like I'm more aware than when I was younger. That's one thing I can say. I definitely think I'm more wise to it now. I'm not wise. I'm saying I'm more wise to it than I was before. Because before you go through heartbreak, you have no idea how it feels. So when it comes and it hits you, it's like a ton of bricks and you're like, oh, this is heartbreak. Thank you for telling me, everyone. Basically, long story short, when I was 14, I was with someone for a very long time. I moved out with him when I was 17, 18. I moved in with him, he was older than me and he had a child. It was a very intense, serious relationship and I loved him so much. He was my first everything. He was my first love, he was my first everything. He was just everything to me. He was the first person I moved in with. He was the first person I'd ever been with that had a kid. You know, I loved his child just as much as I loved him. And I don't have a child yet and I can't wait to have children when I'm older. But when I was with my ex-boyfriend, I loved him and I loved his child. And when you love someone so much and they have their child with you and their child's living with you 2 days a week, you would love that child as if it's your own. I mean, I don't know how much I would love my own child, but I adored that child. I would wake up for that little boy at 5 o'clock in the morning and I would be ready to go for the day. I would feed him, I would bath him, I would do everything I felt like a mum would do, but I wasn't a mum. I'm not saying I was a mum, but I looked after that child and I loved that child. I know some of you Huns, if you're returning, thank you so much. You've probably heard this story before, so I'm gonna really quickly keep it short and sweet. Basically, when he broke up with me, he broke up with me over the phone. We were together for 5 years and we lived together, and I'd come to my dad's because we were going bowling. I was so buzzing we were going bowling. It was date night, and I said I'd meet him at my dad's because it was close to the train station, so he could get off the train from work and he would come here and then we'd go. Anyway, so he called me and I was like, I'm gonna get my phone because we're gonna reenact it. I was like, hello Bear, called him Bear. No, I called him Bean and he called me Bear. I was like, hello Bean, and he was like, hello Bear, and I was like, hi baby, I can't wait to see you, and he was like, yeah. Honestly, I can't explain it to you. He said hello Bear. So there was no pre-warning. There was no pre-warning. I was so like, he called me Bear. You know, it was just a standard thing. So I was like, oh hello, I was like, I can't wait to see you, and he was like, it just went silent. And I was like, what's going on? You know, and you're like, hello? And he was like, yeah, Imogen, I'm not coming home. And I was like, you could have told me. And I was a tiny bit annoyed because I was thinking, my phone nearly fell off. I was thinking, oh, you could have told me if you're going out with the boys, like you could have just told me because we were meant to be going on date night. So I was just annoyed about that. But I wasn't like, what the? I wasn't going mad. I was just like, oh, you could have told me. Like, I thought we were meant to be doing something tonight. Which any hun would be. Like, I'm sorry, but anyone would be annoyed if you'd planned a date and then all of a sudden the date's cancelled. So then he was like, no, I'm not coming home ever. And I was like, sorry? Sorry, what? Long story short, after that, I basically said to him, you're going to break up with me over the phone. He came to my house. I made him come to my house. He came to the front door. My dad was standing around the door. He was holding my hand. He was like, whatever you do, don't cry. Obviously, my mind was blown. Never ever saw this coming. That morning when we broke up, we spent the morning in bed together, and I remember when he left that morning, he was like, I don't want to leave you, and he was really all over me. I mean, the boy was so loving. We were so in love. Like, he used to sit on the bed, and we'd sit on the bed and we'd cry to each other. Like, I'd get in the bath, he'd sit on the toilet, and then we'd swap it around, and I'd be DJ while he's in the bath and he'd be DJ while I was in the bath. And we get out of the bath, we'd lie on the bed on our towels listening to Ed Sheeran and just crying about how much we loved each other. Like, after 5 years. And also, he was older than me. He was 5 years older than me. But anyway, so I was completely set that my relationship with him was solid. I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with him. Honestly, especially when you have a kid around, you're like, you can see your future with them. I saw myself having kids with him. I saw myself having a kid that would be related to that child. I saw myself having, you know, being married to him. I saw everything with this boy. I promise you, he was the first boy I ever went on holiday with. Just, yeah, you can imagine this was my first ever love. So I never saw this coming. Obviously, when my dad said don't cry, that went out the window. I was a complete mess. I was a complete mess. And he said to me, I just don't want you anymore. I want to be a lad. I've grown up too quickly, and if I was to be with anyone, it would be you, but I just don't want to be with anyone. He was like, you're the only person I want to be with, but I just don't want to be with anyone. He was like looking at me like this. And I remember he looked me up and down. I said to him, if you walk away from me now, just know, because I know the kind of person I am, if you walk away from me now, I'll never trust you that you won't be able to do it to me again, so I won't be able to take you back. Because I know what I'm like. That's just me. Everyone's different, but I'd been with him for a long time. The relationship at the beginning was very difficult, and I went through a lot of stress to be with that boy. So the fact that he walked away from me after me doing a lot of things for him, not that I did things for him so he'd stay with me, but I did a lot of things for him because I loved him. So the fact that he could walk away from me so easily, I thought, if you're willing to dump me over the phone, like if you don't have that much respect for me, then if you walk away from me now, just know I will never trust you to be back in my life. Because I know what I'd be thinking. Maybe 2 years down the line, I'd think, let's say we had a problem, we had a strain in our relationship. Every relationship has problems. You argue because you're two people coming together and you're trying to compromise over, you know, your differences. What if in 2 years you turn around to me and say, I'm sorry, I'm out. There's a problem, I'm out. I wouldn't trust him to not do that. So I said to him, right, look me in the eye and tell me you don't want to come back to me. He looked at me like this. He went, yeah, I don't want you. I love you, Imogen, I just don't want you. I just fell, I'm not gonna lie, I fell on the floor and I was like, just crying my eyes out, and he just walked away from me. It still makes me sad now. It still makes me sad because heartbreak's something you can never ever forget. Honestly, if you put that boy in front of me now, like I saw him like 2 weeks ago and I was like, my friend was like, that's your ex-boyfriend. I was like, oh my God. And you know, it's so weird. It's so weird because I loved him to the ends of the earth. But now, I promise you, you couldn't pay me money for me to get back with him. Like, how weird is that? How weird is that? And that's not me being horrible about him. That's just me saying, like, I could never ever see myself with him again. It's so weird. It's so weird. I was a complete mess. I was a complete mess. I didn't want him to go anywhere. I think I was crying and I was just, I lost the plot. And I was like, right, I need another boyfriend. I need another boyfriend. straight away. So I was on the hunt. I wanted another boyfriend. And I'm not going to go too much into that, but basically what I made the mistake of doing was I got into a relationship far too quickly. I got into a relationship far too quickly because I wanted a rebound. I wanted someone to fix me. And that was the first mistake I made. I tried to mend my broken heart by getting someone else to love me. And for me, it didn't work. It did not work. When me and my first boyfriend broke up, I want to tell you that I was low. I was low. I look back now and I can't really remember feeling that low, but I know I was. I was a mess. I was going out every night. I was getting drunk all the time. I was going out clubbing. I was looking for a boyfriend. I was crying about him. I was crying to boys about him. I was going on dates and talking about him. I was absolutely heartbroken. I would come home, I wouldn't sleep. I wasn't eating, or then I'd eat to oblivion. I'd eat so much food and then I'd starve myself because I was like, I just want him. And I didn't even realise I was starving myself, but I just didn't want to eat because I felt sick. And when you're heartbroken, it is in the pit of your stomach. It's right there at the bottom and you can't pinpoint it. You're like, I know it sounds really weird, but you want to kind of just grab it out of your stomach and just go away, but you can't. It's there. It's like a knot right there. And it's like someone's just there going, you're not getting over this. You're not getting over this. And you know what? You will get over it. You will get over it. That person that you think is in your head going, you won't get over it. You won't get over it. Yeah, you will. Yes, you will. I am living proof that you will get over it. I promise you. I promise you. I know I'm probably going to feel heartbreak again. One day, maybe in the future. I don't know. I can't guarantee that the next person I meet is going to be the love of my life and the person I marry. And when I do go through that heartbreak, I will tell myself, I'm going to get through it. You did it once, Imogen. You did it twice, Imogen. You can get through it. I promise you with every part of me, you can get through it. But I want to tell you that one night, this is Imogen. Mrs. Imogen completely admitting this. I was Psycho Sally up here. I was going out. I was kissing all these boys. I was thinking, yeah, I'm going to kiss this boy, kiss 4 boys in one club. The club was tiny. Are you alright, Imogen? But I felt like anyone was going to fill the void of what I'd been taken from me. That's where I was at. And I don't even think it is weird because that's where I went. Everyone, when they have heartbreak, has a different path, has a different journey, and that's the path I went on. That is the journey I went on. I remember one night I saw him in a club and I went up to him and I was begging him, and his friends were saying to me, he is going to get back with you, Imogen. He loves you. He's going to get back with you. He's just going a bit crazy at the moment. He went to Magaluf. I heard about him getting with loads of girls, doing all sorts, and I was like, it just made me go crazy. I was like, what? Did this boy not love me? He didn't really drink when he was with me. He went out, he got absolutely slashed. Like, oh, this was, by the way, a long time ago when I used to drink. I don't drink now, but I used to drink. I hated alcohol, but I drank because I thought it would help me. Did it? No, it didn't, Imogen. Definitely didn't. I remember seeing him in a club and I remember saying to him, please take me back. I was crying. I was absolutely sobbing. And I was like, I remember this. He saw the photographer walk past us in a club and he went, excuse me, mate, come here. You wanted a photo with me. And I was like, what do you want? And he was like, a photo of us, best friends. I was like, best friends? Best friends? Best friends? No. Definitely not best friends. I was like, boyfriend and girlfriend? And he was like, no, friends. Still having his arm around me, trying to take a photo. And there's me, and I remember seeing that photo. I got tagged on it on Facebook years ago. And I was like, looking at him, so sad. Like, if I look at that photo now, I feel like that sums up my heartbreak. Me looking to him and him just being like, see ya. Anyway, we'd taken the photo and I said to him, please just take me back. And he was like, no, I just can't, I can't. And I remember I left that club. I said, please just come and speak to me. Please just come and speak to me. And he wouldn't speak to me. And I remember I left that club and I went and sat on the beach. Like, how dangerous. I went and sat on the beach at 2 o'clock in the morning when I was a young girl. I was, 19, sitting on a beach crying. And I remember I was throwing up so much because I drank too much. I had drunk to an oblivion. Like, I hate alcohol. I don't know why I was drinking. And I called him 198 times. Yeah, I called him 198 times and I'm not even ashamed of it. Like, I called him 198 times. Oh my God. He didn't pick up once. This is even more embarrassing. My phone died and I called my mum and dad and I was like, Mum, Dad, I'm so sad. I don't want to do this anymore. I was like that. Yeah, I was like that. I'm being honest. I'm being completely honest with you. I was like, are you all right, Imogen? What, one boy and you think, no, like no, never again. But the thing is, you can't control how you feel. Anyway, I was sat on the beach, I was a young girl. I genuinely, in my head, thought life isn't worth living because I haven't got my boyfriend. Huh? Ludicrous, yeah, but that was my mindset. Anyway, so my phone died. My parents were really worried about me because they were on the phone to me while I was crying, saying all these things, and I was throwing up. They got the police to come look for me, and the police came and found me. I'll never forget this. The police took me back in a van. Police took me back in a van. There was 2 policemen and they were like, your parents have, you know, raised an alert that you were missing. They couldn't get hold of you because my phone had died. And can you understand, I'm saying all these things to them, so obviously they're worried. When I was in the police van, I was throwing up. And I was like, please, can you just cuddle me? Can you just cuddle me? My boyfriend's left me and I love him so much. Like, the policeman was like, we're not allowed to put our hands on you. I'm really sorry about that. We're not allowed to put our hands around you. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, can I pay you? I was like, can I pay you? Because obviously you've driven me home. And they were like, no, we're not going to take money from you. And I was like, okay, I'm really sorry. I'm actually a really good girl. I was like, I'm a good girl, but I'm just a bit heartbroken at the moment. Like, what are you doing, Imogen? What are you doing? God. I don't even look back and think, oh my God. I look back and think that was just the way I handled it. No one ever prepared me and said, this is how you're going to be when you have heartbreak. Like, now, if I went through it, I'd be vastly different. I'd be vastly different if I went through it now because I've already done it. I've done things that I needed to do. Like, people need to make mistakes and people need to go through the emotions of how you feel because it's a roller coaster and you need to ride it. You need to ride that roller coaster because otherwise if you fight it, you're going to feel so much more anger and pent up resentment and feel like you're not getting out your true emotions. Long story short, 3 weeks later, lo and behold, the boy did everything under the sun and then came running back to me. However, I was not having any of it, although I wanted to have it. I wanted to turn around to him and say, I love you so much, I want to be back with you. But by that time, I'd started trying to be in a relationship with someone else, which were just absolute, I don't even know what I was doing. And also by that point I was like, no, I can't be with you. I know you've done so many things that I wish you'd never done. And also I can't take you back. I love you so much. And honestly, that, I promise you, that was the worst feeling. Because everyone said to me, oh, I know you're heartbroken now, but he'll come running back to you and it'll feel amazing. I'm going to be honest with you, this is me being completely real with you. It might be different for everyone else, but that was the worst day. It was worse than being heartbroken because the person that you loved and you wanted to be with and you would have done anything for. Like, when he left me at this house, when he walked away from me at this house, I remember saying to him, I'll do anything you want. What do you need? You do this, you go out there. I said to him, you can go and sleep with other girls, you can do, are you crazy, Imogen? Are you crazy? Well, apparently you were crazy because, but it was the thing, when you're desperate, you don't care. Obviously, if he'd gone and slept with other people, I wouldn't have wanted to be with him. But at the time, you're clutching at any straw. You're like, I'll do this. Maybe we can move out and you live on your own for a bit. I even was offering him my auntie's flat. We lived in my auntie's flat and I said to him, why don't you stay in my auntie's flat and I'll move out? What? Imogen disappeared. She went. Imogen went. So then that was the worst part because I had to say no to someone who I still loved so much, but in a way, it was the best thing I ever did. At the time, it felt like the worst, but now I look back, I know it was the right thing to do. Like, honestly, if you want to be with someone, nothing will hold you back. But there was something in me saying, don't do it. And now I pat myself on the back because it was the best decision I ever made, because me and him aren't meant to be together. We're definitely not. We're such different people. We've moved in such different directions in our lives, and I don't love him anymore. And I don't see my future with him anymore. And I loved him when I was younger, but I've grown up. You know, it was a long time ago. That was when I was 19 we broke up, and I'm what, 24 now? So that's 5 years ago. So I look back now and I don't feel negative towards him. I just feel like I did that. That was a part of my life with you that I'm never going to forget, that part of my life with him. But it's something that I don't have to look back and think, oh, could we have been something? Like, I completely know in my head I made the right decision. Anyway, heartbreak. Back to this. The thing with heartbreak is no one can actually tell you how it feels for you. The way I feel about heartbreak might be completely different to my best friend's feeling of heartbreak. She might handle it completely differently. And the thing is, I actually am so proud of myself that I was strong enough to say no to him. I promise you, it's one of the hardest things at the time I ever had to do. And I look back now and I'm like, you are strong. Baby girl, you said no to someone that you loved so much, but you knew you deserved better, and I did. I deserved someone who didn't walk away from me. I deserved someone who didn't throw me away at the slightest problem. I deserved someone that didn't dump me over the phone. I deserved someone that did a lot of things that he didn't do for me. You know, I don't want to be spoiled financially. I don't want to be spoiled with the latest gifts. I don't want anything superficial. I want love and loyalty. That's all I ever ask for. I want someone to be loyal to me, and I want someone to love me. That's it. And until I find that, until I find the person that gives me that, I'm going to be happy and be single. I don't want to go out there looking for someone and thinking they're going to make me happy, because you have to find happiness on your own. And that's something I think that the breakdown of both my ex-boyfriends actually taught me, because when I went into the next rebound relationship, I then was with him for 2 years. I moved to Cardiff, which was 5 hours away from my home. I then moved to London with him. I then lived in London on my own. I was commuting between Cardiff and London, Cardiff, London. I was going back to Cardiff every Friday after uni, coming back every Sunday. It just seems like a bit of a whirlwind for me. When I came out of my second relationship, I was heartbroken, but in a really different way, because I feel like I loved my second boyfriend. I definitely loved my second boyfriend. I didn't love him at the beginning. He was just a rebound for me, but I did really fall in love with him. But the problem I found was my ex-boyfriend never left me alone. My first boyfriend stayed on the scene. He would turn up to my dad's house. He would turn up to the pub where my dad was. He would send me letters. He would send me text messages. My ex-boyfriend was getting so upset with it, and I can understand. Imagine your boyfriend's ex-girlfriend was chasing them. Like, you don't want that person's ex on the scene, do you? So my ex-boyfriend wouldn't leave me alone, and I used to have to keep changing my number. And I remember thinking to myself, you left me, and now you want to chase me. So my head was completely gone. I still loved him. I still loved my ex-boyfriend, but then I was still in love with this one. I was so confused. I was like, who do I actually want to be with? Do I even love him if I'm thinking about him? But then I don't want to be with him anymore because he left me. Like, it was such a weird position to be in. And I don't believe in regrets. I don't regret my second boyfriend at all. I don't regret the fact that it was such a short period of time to go from one serious relationship into the other. I lived with both of them. I don't regret it because I think to myself, it taught me everything. It taught me everything. It made me go through the most weird emotions in the world, emotions I don't think I'll hopefully ever feel again, because now I know I'd never do that again. And that's when I came out of my second relationship and was like, listen, I don't want to be in a relationship for a long time. I want to find what makes Imogen happy. I know it sounds really cringe, but it's true. I wanted to find what makes my buttons tick, what makes me smile, what makes me feel truly happy and content. That's not going shopping and buying myself loads of things. That's finding little things that make me me and make me happy. I feel like I had to go on the rebound, and I feel like I had to do what I had to do in order to be who I am now. The way I handled both of my breakups was by cutting them out. I cut them both out. I deleted them on everything. I blocked their phone numbers. I blocked them from any communication. And you know what? They would then find other means of contacting me. So they would call me off their friend's phone, I'd have to block that. They'd call me off their parents' phone or something like that. So that's the best way for me. That's how I handled it, and I wouldn't suggest it for everyone, but I deleted everything. And you know what? I don't even regret that. I deleted everything. I deleted photos, videos, memories, everything. And I know it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy because that's a massive part of my life, but I have all the memories I need to have in my head, and I feel like it's something I don't need to be reminded of. If I want to talk about it, I talk about it. Like, I'm talking to you now about it. Basically now I want to talk to you, Huns. I want to say that for anyone that's going through heartbreak, and for anyone that hasn't been through heartbreak and you're probably looking at this thinking, oh, I never want to go through that, it's okay. It's okay to go through it. I promise you, if you are going through it now, you will get through it. There is not one person in this world that can take that pain away from yourself except yourself. You have to heal on your own. No one is going to be able to come and take the pain away from you, because unfortunately only you feel that pain, and only you can find happiness within yourself to be able to move on. And only when you're happy inside can you move on and be happy in another relationship. You can't expect someone to come along and cuddle you and all your heartbreak just mend. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so I'm not saying that I'm the best person for advice, but I want to give you my advice for anyone that is going through it. Time. Give yourself time. Understand that it's nothing to do with you. Please, 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 what I don't want you to do is sit there and blame yourself. You cannot sit there and go, oh, it's because I was this and because I was that, because we all do it. I remember I came out of those relationships and I was a very good girlfriend. And actually, in actual fact, if you weigh it up, both those boys were not right for me. They were not right for me. They did a lot of things to me which I didn't deserve. So actually, I look back now and think, no. But at the time, I remember thinking, oh my God, it was me, it was all me, and they were amazing. And you start thinking about all the happy memories you had. You don't think about the stuff that they actually did to you that realistically you don't want anymore. I now look back at my ex-boyfriends and I'm like, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that. But at the time, I didn't see it, because heartbreak blinds you sometimes. When you're in love, you're blinded. So what I don't want you to do is sit there and say, oh, it's because I'm not pretty enough, it's because I'm not good enough, it's because I wasn't good enough at that, or no, 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 no. You are enough. And you will be more than enough for someone else, but you're not right for that person. And if that person comes back to you and you want to be with them, I'm not sitting here saying don't be with them. Just sum up in your head, weigh up in your head your options and think, Do I really need this? Do I really love him, and do I want him enough to work through this? That's something you have to weigh up in your head, and that's what I did, and it wasn't enough for me to stay with them. So that's why I said, no, I deserve better. And that's why when we broke up, I never went back to them. When they both said to me, please be with me, I want to be back with you, I said no. Because I knew in my head I deserved better. At the time I didn't, but it took me time after to realise I do deserve better. And I promise you, if someone walks away from you and someone doesn't see your true value, then they are not worth it. They are not worth it, because you are all angels. You are amazing. It's so easy for us to criticise ourselves, but you know what? You need to be your #1 fan. You need to say to yourself, I deserve the world. And the world isn't necessarily the world. You know, it's not you deserve someone to come and give you everything. You deserve someone to treat you like their world. You deserve to be everything to someone. And you know what I always think to myself? I have a lot of love to give. I give so much love to everyone around me that I love. I deserve that back. You know, I don't give love to receive it, but you deserve the unconditional love you give someone. You deserve it back. You deserve to be treated the way you treat others, and I truly believe that. I've always stood by that. The way you treat others, they should treat you, and if they don't, bye. See ya. See ya. Like, I'm being honest with you. Heartbreak is an emotion that no one can describe. It's an emotion which I wouldn't even put my worst enemy through. Honestly, when you feel heartbroken, you feel so low. You feel rubbish. There is no easy way to describe heartbreak other than you just feel empty, you feel worthless, you feel nothing. But I promise you that it goes away. Time heals everything. Look at my mum and dad and think, you were together for 20 odd years, you married, you were so young when you met, and they were heartbroken when they broke up. But they're over that heartbreak now. And you think to yourself, people go through it every day. People fight battles you don't know every day. You don't know what people's battles are. So you might look at someone and think, oh, on Instagram they look so happy. And you might see them on the tube or the bus and think, oh, they look so happy. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they're going through. And that's something I really want to tell you, that social media can heighten everything for people. And you look at things and you think, oh, he's got it all or she's got it all and their relationship's perfect. It's not always the case. It's one photograph. And I want you to understand that you might feel heartbroken now, but you will get over that heartbreak. I'm sitting here now telling you you will get over that heartbreak because I was you. I remember thinking, I'm never gonna get over this. I'm never gonna get through this. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. And you know what helped me? I listened to some tunes. I listened to Beyonce, Irreplaceable. I listened to Kelly Clarkson, What Doesn't Kill You Make You Stronger. Now I would listen to Sorry Not Sorry from Demi Lovato. There is a list. If you go on Spotify and type Boy Bye or you type Breakup, you can come up with some empowering songs. You don't want to listen to songs which are going to make you sad, like the ones that are like, break my heart, say you love me again. No, you need empowering songs. Music helped me so much. Music really helped me. Surrounding myself with my friends and my family and people that I love and people that loved me really helped me. Doing things for myself. I started going for dinner on my own. I started going to the cinema on my own, because from someone that was so dependent, I then got my heart broken and realised, do you know what? I'm going to depend on myself. I'm going to make myself my #1. And that's not me saying I'm selfish, because I'm not. I would do anything. I would run to the ends of the earth for anyone that I love. But I also love myself as well. I love myself. I have so many imperfections, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of things that I think to myself, you know, you could probably change that, you could probably change that, but no, I'm never going to change them because I love them. That's me. That's what makes me me. And you should never change yourself for someone else. You should only want to grow for yourself. And honestly, do you know what I used to do when I was heartbroken? I used to write down one thing a day in a diary. I probably have that diary somewhere in the garage. I used to write down in a diary every single day one thing I liked about myself. Sometimes it'd be the same thing. I'd be like, I like my teeth. I like my teeth. I like my teeth. It'd probably be the same thing every day. But then I think to myself, no, change it now. Come on, tell yourself you love something else about yourself. And I say, oh, I like my laugh. I think it's funny. I'd say so many different things. I think to myself, yeah, I'm empowering myself. I'm telling myself I am going to get through this. And at the time, you might think that person is the one for you, but there are 7 billion people in this world. 7 billion people in this world. Do you know what I always think as well? If someone's not willing to put up with me when I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bit of a moody day, I'm on my period or whatever. I don't really have moody days, but you know when you feel a bit sad or you're a bit hormonal, or sometimes when I'm just being a little bit stubborn, I don't know. You know those days when you're just having a little bit of an off day? Someone should stick by you through those, because there are a million more good days than bad days, and someone should be there. Someone should be there for you. If you don't feel very well and they're there, they're going to support you. Someone shouldn't be weak enough to walk away from you, because if they're weak enough to walk away from you, they're going to be weak enough to walk away from you when you're going through anything. I just think to myself, do you know what? My ex-boyfriends, I loved them so much, but they were very weak men. If we had something tiny that was going wrong, they would walk. They would walk away from it. They couldn't handle it. They would get stressed out. They couldn't handle it. And that's them, and that's fine. But I can't have that. Because I think to myself, when I'm older and I get married and I've got stress of bills, I've got stress of babies, I've got stress around me, that I look at my parents and think they have that stress. I want someone that's my team member, that's going to say, do you know what, I'm sticking here, I'm staying here with you, and we're going to get through this together. That's what I want, a team member. And do you know what, yes, I have been single for 4.5 years, but I've been single out of choice. I really want to talk to you about me being single and my growth to sort of happiness and confidence and loving myself. I'd love to do a video on that, and if you do want me to do a video on that, then please give this a massive thumbs up, because I would love to do that. I know this sounds crazy, but I want to sit here now and tell you now that you are amazing. You are enough, and you are worth everything. I know it sounds silly, and I know I'm just like talking to you and saying that, but you are, and I hate it. I hate it so much when you message me and you tell me you're going through something, because I wish I could cuddle you and take all the pain away. I wish I could, but I can't. And when you ask me for advice, I'm telling you, time. Give yourself time. It's not going to take a week. It won't take 2 weeks. Maybe it will for some of you, but everyone's different. Your friend might say, oh, I'm over him, and it'll be 6 months. You might take a year, you might take 1 month. There is not a time limit on it, but trust your gut, trust your feelings, and trust the fact that you're going through something and your body will heal when it's meant to heal. And I also am a firm believer in that everything happens for a reason, and if you were meant to be with that person, somehow, somewhere, you will be with that person. You will be back with that person. If you're not meant to be, you won't be with them. And you have to tell yourself that in your head. You have to think, okay, I'm not going to put my life on hold waiting for him or waiting for her. I'm going to wait. I'm going to make myself happy, and if I'm meant to be with that person, then I am. But do you know what I found? When I grew up, I had this journey of discovering myself and what made me happy. I realised that my 2 ex-boyfriends definitely weren't that, and I only found that out by spending some time on my own. And do you know what? Yes, I've been single for a long time, but I'm willing to wait another 4.5 years until I find the person that I'm meant to be with. Like, when I find that person, you'll know. I'll know. I can't wait to meet someone that I trust, that gives me those butterflies, that I find loyalty and love with. And do you know what? I know I will. I know I will. I'm not in any rush. I know I'm 24, but I'm not in a rush. I'm going to find someone. I know I will find someone. I'm happy at the moment just being me. I'm happy spending time with my friends. I'm happy meeting all of you huns. I'm happy being able to do videos, edit my videos. I am so happy right now that I feel like I don't want someone to come take from my life. I want someone to come and add to my life. The reason I wanted to make this video today, and the reason I want to do videos like this, is because I want you to understand that everyone goes through it. And if you haven't yet, maybe you will. Maybe I hope you never go through heartbreak. I hope that I'm talking to some people who've never been through it and never have to go through it. But unfortunately, a lot of people do go through it. And I want to be able to chat with you and say that you're not alone. You're not alone, and we are in this together, and you will be fine in the end. What's that quote? If you're not okay, what's that quote about? It's that John Lennon quote, and it's like, everything will be okay in the end, and if it's not okay, it's not the end. Is that right? I got it here. Everything will be okay. Yeah, I read it right. I read it right. I got it. I got you, John Lennon. I got you, John Lennon. But what I really don't want you to do is bottle it up. Talk to someone. There are loads of helplines that you can just ring up someone and just literally talk for days, talk for hours, and just say, this is how I'm feeling, this is how I'm feeling, because you know what? Letting it off does actually help. The more you build it up and pent it up inside of you, it builds and bubbles and bubbles and bubbles until eventually your pan lid's flown off and you're everywhere. Do you know what I mean? I've done it before. You build it up inside of you, and then all of a sudden you just go rah and explode. Talk to someone, even if it's someone you don't know, or talk to your best friend, talk to your mum or dad if you can, talk to your sibling, talk to anyone, talk to yourself, voice note yourself. I've done that before. I've been like, listen, you can do this, you can get through this, and then I listen to that voice note. Or sometimes I write it down in my notes and I'm like, right, I'm feeling like this today. But one thing I also want you to do is understand that you go through different emotions. One day you'll feel angry, one day you'll feel hurt, one day you'll feel like you want to be back with them, the next day you'll feel like, oh, I don't want to be with you, the next minute you'll feel like, oh, they're amazing, the next minute you'll be like, actually you're horrible. And you need to go through those emotions to be able to heal. Like, don't fight them. Don't fight them. If you want to cry, cry. Crying is a thing that I feel like has got such a stigma attached to it. People think you're weak for crying. It's not true. Do you know what? Actually, it's a strength to cry. It's a strength to be able to say, look, I'm not okay, but I'm gonna be fine, and I'm releasing it. Do you know, some people, they hold so many emotions in, and that's hard for them to release things. And that's not me saying I judge them for that, because people have gone through so many different things. Maybe they pent up their feelings because they feel like they can't talk to anyone. But I want you to know that you can. And honestly, I love you all so, so much. I will love you forever, and I want you to know that heartbreak will go away. I promise you. And you deserve the world, and you will find the world. You are princesses, you are princes, you are huns, you are angels, and you deserve to be treated that way. You deserve someone that worships the ground you walk on, just like I do. You deserve someone that loves you as much as I do. It's so strange, because I could sit here right now and cry about it, because it's still a feeling that never goes away. You'll remember it, but it's made me who I am. It's made me who I am. I'm such a stronger person now. Things I've gone through have made me the person I am today, and I really love who I am today. Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I'm definitely not sitting here going, I love me, I love me. I'm not sitting here saying I love me because I'm perfect. I'm sitting here saying I love me because I'm imperfect. And I love that about myself. I love the fact that I go wrong in things, and I have lipstick on my teeth when I'm talking to people, and I say the wrong things sometimes, and I laugh too loudly, but I'm unapologetic. Sorry, why are you crying? Why are you crying, Imogen? I'm unapologetically me, and that's something I think for a long time I struggled with, because when I was younger I went through a lot of things. I was bullied, I obviously went through heartbreak, I had my parents divorced, and I feel like I stopped being myself for so long, but I felt like I had to be something for everyone else all the time. But you know what? I'm happy being me. I'm happy being me now. And my heartbreak made me the strong person I am today. And my ex-boyfriends breaking my heart made me who I am today. Shout out to my ex. Out to my ex. Go on, little mix. You're really quite the man. You made my heart break, and that made me who I am. Here's to my ex. Hey, look at me now. Shout out to my ex. That's such a sick song from Little Mix. But really, shout out to my exes, because they made me who I am today. And do you know what? I get to talk to my angels. I get to talk to my angels about heartbreak, because they put me through it. So I wouldn't be able to sit here and have a story time with you and be able to share this and be emotional with you and actually have all of you in my life. I wouldn't have you all in my life, because I probably wouldn't have done YouTube if I didn't go through heartbreak, if I didn't go through bullying, if I didn't go through everything I'd been through. I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be being able to have you huns in my life. And you are the best things. You are the best things that have ever... I can't even speak. You are the best things that have ever happened to me in the whole of my life. You have completed my life. You have made my life whole, and I am so grateful to you all for that. I will never ever stop being grateful. So yeah, I just want you to know, I know this has been a bit of a random video. Please give it a massive thumbs up if you like the video. I would really like to do more videos like this, talking about bullying, talking about being single for a long time, talking about confidence, talking about a lot of things, because I think that it's so important that we share things like this. You know what as well? I wish when I was younger, when I was like 13 or something, I wish I had someone to watch and just think, okay, she's gone through it and I can go through it as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm sitting here saying to you, I've gone through it and I empathise with you. I feel the pain you're going through, and I'm telling you, you got this. My huns, let's think positive now. We're not even going to start crying. We're going to tell ourselves, we got this. You need to look in the mirror every day and say, do you know what? If you don't want me, hun, it's fine. Someone else will. And what's more important is, I want me. I want me. I am good enough for myself. So anyone else, if you don't think I'm good enough for you, bye, see ya. Like, if someone comes into my life now and I think that they make me feel inadequate or they're toxic, I'm like, bye. I don't care. I used to hold on, like, I had to hold on. And do you know what? I held on too long to my relationships. I didn't actually have to be with my ex-boyfriend for 5 years, but do you know what? I felt like I wanted to make it work, and God, I don't know how I made it work, because it did work for 5 years. I don't know how I did, I'm telling you that. But I held on because I felt like I was going to be alone. I was going to be lonely. It's not a scary thing to be alone. It's okay, because you're not alone. When you find comfort and find happiness in yourself, and that's something that comes with time. I promise you, give yourself time and you will heal so many parts of yourself that you didn't even realise you needed to heal. I'm being honest with you. And self-confidence and everything will just come. But you have to honestly try your best to love yourself. Find what makes you happy. Find what makes you happy. That is the most important thing in the world. Okay, so I'm finished. I really hope you like this video. I really do. Oh, my little honey pie angel faces. I love you so much. Please give this a massive thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I know it's a bit of a random video, but it's a chat with my angels. If you're new to my channel, then you won't know this, but I do a game where I mime a song and you just gotta guess the song. So it's gonna be quite a fitting song. Ooh. this week, and my shout out goes to Philippe, her mum. Oh my god, her mum Gabriella said that she watches my YouTube channel and she watches my videos with my dad, and apparently she shouts Ben's a lad. So Gabriella, my mum, hun, I love you so much. Thank you so much to you and your amazing daughter for watching my videos. I love you all. I love my huns so much, more than you'll ever understand. And also, follow me on Snapchat and Instagram, because I like to put up like an inspirational quote every now and again, because they really help. They really, really help. Quotes really helped me, because sometimes you look at a quote and you're like, that is how I'm feeling, and it helps you feel like motivated and inspired and think, yeah, I'm strong, I'm a baby gal. You need to just watch this video and just let me tell you, you are amazing every single day. I will tell you every single day, you are amazing. I love you all so much. Until next time, angels, I'm gonna love you. I'll see you on Thursday. I'm gonna love you, and I'm gonna leave you. I'm sorry, but us huns, we've got each other. We will always have each other. We will get through everything together. Like, we can fight the world. Like, it's us against the world, huns. Do you know what I mean? Isn't that a Britney Spears song? No, it's a Take That. Oh, God!